Okay, so I think I was in Salvador del Bahia when I landed last time. Um, so yeah, I took the bus across Salvador de Bahia back to the bus station. One weird thing about Brazil is the bus station in Brazil is always on the edge of town, like on the other side of is like where the cheap hotels were in the center of town. So like you have to take the bus like miles and miles and miles and miles to the hotel. Whereas anywhere else, the bus leaf is off like right there in town next to where the hotels are, and you can like walk there. But that's just I guess a testament to how huge the cities in Brazil are, and they're not like spread out like LA where everybody has a big front lawn. They're just big. Um, but I think they're a little bit more spread out than like Chile or Argentina. I can't remember. But yeah, but the hotel that was in that town was pretty. I can't remember the name of the town though. Then I took a bus up to some other town. I can't remember what that's called. It was the one that I was at before, Belem. Maybe it's the one that's the farthest east, but it was an interesting place because it was like right on some inlet from the ocean, like where a river let in or something. It had like a big bay. And like, I remember I took a photo, I looked at it from the town, and it's this huge bay where you can see the other side like hundreds and hundreds of meters off, maybe a mile. It was like a mile away, the other side. And it was totally dry. Like you could get down there and walk around in the mud, or dry mud it looked like, and I guess the tide was just down. So I guess like, it doesn't, it's like really shallow water, and when the tide comes in, it's only like a foot deep or something. Um, so, but that had a really cool downtown area. Man, I should have brought my book with me to see what town we're talking about here. But yeah, it had a cool downtown area, like a little pedestrian area there, and we got a cool hotel there. There's this girl at the information place that's hanging out with it, these really long hands, like a guitar. Anyways, and then I took the bus into Belem, and Belem is a really interesting place. Belem is the town that's at the mouth of the Amazon River as it opens out into the ocean. The Amazon River, if you look at it from a satellite photo where it opens out into the ocean, it pushes debris, organic matter from the Amazon River out into the ocean like 300 miles or something. So you can actually see this big mushroom plume of like brown just getting pushed way out in the ocean. And yeah, the Amazon River is huge. But so I was gonna take the boat ride up the Amazon River to Manaus, but like I had to wait like 2 or 3 days or something. So I think I got. Actually, I don't recall any hotels there that I stayed. So I think I stayed on the boat. You wanted to stay on the boat, get the ticket 2 days in advance, anyways, because the boat gets really crowded, and it's really cool the way that people hang out on the boat, because the boat ride was 6 days, so you sleep on the boat, but it's like really basic boat. It's just this boat that's like, I don't know how long it is, 50 meters long. They're not very big boats, and like you don't go downstairs at all. I think that's where the workers hang out or whatever. So it's just this boat with like one bathroom or maybe two bathrooms with a shower in the bottom. And then like there's this ground level that's just, just steel. So you have to go in there and put up your hammock. So I bought a hammock, and I got there early, so I strung up my hammock really high right in the middle so that I could put my backpack in it and nobody would be able to look in and, get an idea to stand my backpack, and I could be higher than everybody, so I could have like privacy and stuff. And it was kind of difficult when I was to actually get there and leave, because I'd have to like crawl under people and over people. I took a photo of it, and like these hammocks were so jam-packed together that when you're, that they're all like connected, you can't even swing back and forth because all the hammocks are connected, and if you swing, it'll make the other hammock swing. And I mean, I think I had a couple of hammocks like pretty much directly below me. And yeah, it was pretty crazy. But it was comfortable to be in my hammock and just hang out in there. But I hung out in Belem for like 2 days. That's another huge city because I remember I took a bus like out to a movie theater to see a movie with a couple of American kids, or an American kid and a Canadian kid, and yeah, the bus ride was like a half hour just to get out there to the movie theater. But that's actually like I guess um, like a colonial city. They had this really pretty plaza surrounded by all of these gigantic colonial buildings. You know, the big palace looking buildings with the spires. Then you go in them and they have the huge, you know, marbled floors and indoor courtyard and the big wide marble stairs that curl up to the second balcony. And I guess it was the residence or something, or the office buildings of that, you know, the administrators of that part of the world. But there were like two of those buildings, or like all clumped together. But it wasn't. That was kind of like the touristy place. There weren't any like buildings, like office and stuff there. The office buildings are kind of a few blocks away. That's kind of how South America is. They haven't re-gentrified yet. But the food, I remember eating the food there, hanging out. Food was really good in Belem. Oh, and they had another plaza though, also kind of on the main street. I guess the more modern of the plazas. I was hanging out there one day on the park bench, and this like really hot black girl with this huge afro walks by me for like 20 feet, and then she turns around, she runs back to me, she's like, "You stay with me, you stay with me." But she had this like spittle, and I was like, whoa, I was kind of freaked out, but I should have. But yeah, I was just hanging out, I guess, with these American kid and this Canadian kid. So then we got back on the, I think that's all I remember seeing in Belem. There wasn't really a whole lot there. It's kind of one of these cities. It's a pretty big city. They had a couple of cool like indoor pedestrian malls though that I hung out at, like air conditioned and stuff. But yeah, so then I got on the boat and we did the boat ride, and that was fun because it just goes up the middle of the river. It took like a really long time to even get to the part where you go up the river, or maybe not. The river was really wide. It was like hundreds of meters wide, like maybe half-mile wide or something. And everybody sleeps in their hammocks on the first level, but then there's a second level on top, which is this big flat area where nobody sleeps, so that's where people hang out. And you could buy alcohol. There was a bar there. But I think I brought my own alcohol. I bought a big bottle of cognac or something because I guess it was a little bit more expensive getting in there or something like that. But yeah, it was cool. You just hang out and they'd play music really loud all day long. So it was basically like a party, a 6-day party. And they had these showers on the back end of the boat that constantly had water flowing down that they would just pump out of the river and then fall down. And there were these Brazilians there who were drinking alcohol and just hanging out in the shower the whole time. It's like, and they were sharing their booze with me, and they were really happy. Just yeah, just really cheerful. But and then we stopped at a couple of places. We stopped at one place for like a few hours that I went in and hiked into the center of the town and got something to eat. And it was like a city, you know, they had roads and cars and everything, but it was right on the side of the Amazon. And I got some weed there too, but from some hippie dude, dreadlock hippie guy. I think he was even white, Brazilian guy. He was selling like art stuff or something. It was the worst weed I've ever had in my life though. It was like grass, it barely got you high. But anyways, so I was smoking a little bit of that in the bathroom with some other guy on the boat. And yeah, but it was funny. I was having fun. But by the end of the 6 days, all of the tourists were like pulling their hair out. They were not having fun. It wasn't their idea of a good time. I guess, I don't know, maybe they weren't intrepid travelers or, oh, whoops, I'm out of time.